¿A dónde está papi? 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 ¿A dónde está papi?
Welcome to the Tuesday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Tuesday. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Cosmic Seeking, Derry Bennett, the Mayor McCheese, Michael Hasser. Welcome, everybody. Rip Tucker Carlson, yes, his career for now definitely took a nosedive, although I suspect it won't be the last time we'll see him. But yeah, his career definitely took a Took a bit of a nosedive there. Happy Bernie Cave Day. Yeah, I feel that. Biden Day. What do you mean Biden Day? You mean he announced? Yes, we're going to talk about that. Happy? Nah. Happy? No. Like, just to be clear, like a lot of people don't want Biden or Trump to run. However, that does not mean that does not mean that one poses a bigger threat than the other. Obviously, the Republican Party has no business anywhere near. The Republican Party has no business anywhere near power. You don't have anything better than Joe. Yeah, but that's not exactly a good thing. Just because like I acknowledge the fact that like the Republican Party is like obviously the bigger threat. Like no doubt about it. No doubt about it. The Republican Party belongs nowhere near power. I still think that like, damn, really? Like we really don't have other choices here? RFK, yeah, but I mean, okay. He's not gonna A, win against Joe Biden, and he's definitely not gonna win a national election. Regardless, I mean, I think he's more of a meme candidate. The political committees don't seem to want change or younger candidates. Probably. To be quite frank, you're probably right. You're probably right. The committee's Republican, the Democratic National Committee probably does not want anything that upsets the status quo too much. So therefore, I mean, why not? Fuck it. We'll run a rematch. As if like this is some kind of fucking sports game. Firefly, welcome. Either way, yes, Biden officially announced, so we will talk about that. But yeah, I don't know if like I'm thrilled about a Biden candidacy. It's just more like, all right, we need to take some, so we need to make some tactical decisions here. Obama did keep Biden as VP. Yeah, so probably, I mean, I don't see any reason. I don't see any reason why they would change that this time. I'm confused. You don't have an alternate to Joe, so embrace a good win. But it's not a good win. That's my point. It's not a good win. It's more like, okay, how far can we push back? How far can we push back like the Republican Party? Does that make sense? And that's the problem right there, is that there is no alternate. There's no alternative. There's no good candidates running. And they just decided that we're just going to run the same guy, and we're probably not. Or is the DNC even going to have primaries? Are we even having primaries? Are there going to be primaries in 2024? Not sure. My criticism is that there isn't an alternate. Yeah, this isn't like a glass half full or glass half empty kind of deal. It's like, it's more like, stop pissing in it and telling me it's water, and then make me thankful for having to drink it. That's kind of how I see it. Does that make sense? It's like, don't piss in my glass. Tell me it's water, and then be thankful for me having water. Oh man. You have to understand that I'm not thrilled. I'm not thrilled at the performance of the Democratic Party, and I'm not thrilled about the idea of a Joe Biden candidacy, just like I wasn't thrilled the first time around. We had to make tactical decisions, and we'll make them again. You know, that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But I mean, if you've got like, if you've got a party that is constantly talking about their disdain for democratic processes, constantly engaging in some of the most egregious behavior. I mean, like, it's just beyond wild to me that a political party can literally engage in schemes to overturn a national election and not be punished for it. And not be like immediately disqualified. Having a political party that is passing laws or attempting to pass laws, and in some cases managing to pass these laws to restrict people's bodily autonomy. When you have a party talking about how a national popular vote would strengthen the individual vote, and that would get us closer to democracy, and that would be a bad thing. Literal direct quote from a Republican state legislator. I mean, when we have a party saying these kinds of things, when we have somebody at the federal level, at the federal level, a representative, talking about how all Democrats are pedophiles, and then doubling down on that, and then like later on going on to a deleted podcast, a now deleted podcast, calling like a huge TikTok trans influencer, a trans woman, the most prominent pedophile in America. I mean, like, come on. When we have like the party's most active political operatives talking about how if they ever obtain power, they're effectively going to make a one-party autocratic, theocratic, authoritarian state, which Chris Rufo basically laid out the plans for that. Chris Rufo basically laid out the plans for that. I mean, I'm not gonna let you folks forget all the kind of stuff that these people have said and are saying currently. When we have a opposition party completely denying reality on its face, then yeah, we have no choice. We have no choice. We have to do everything we can to make sure that these people do not win power, because every time they do, bad stuff happens. Look what's happening in Florida. Who do you have to offer in 2028? I don't know. In 2028, I don't know, but if you want my opinion, it should be somebody that is a younger version of like a Bernie Sanders kind of candidate. Does that make sense? Like a younger version of Bernie Sanders with the same energy would be ideal. Who is close to that? I don't know at this time. You can give me ideas. Senator Bernie Sanders proudly endorses Biden for re-election, says that the last thing this country needs is a Donald Trump or some other right-wing demagogue who will undermine American democracy and attack abortion rights, ignore gun violence, and tolerate rampant bigotry. Yeah, I don't think Bernie's gonna run. He's done, you know? And who could blame him? He's done. He's old. Please see message. Which one? One party is President Trump, and the other political party that is half reasonable must go with Dems. Well, I mean, like, it's not even like half reasonable. It's more like, at this point, it's all hands on deck on stopping the Republican Party. It's not about liking the Democratic Party. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to everybody? It's not about liking the Democratic Party. It's about stopping the Republican Party. Period. Period. Biden's announcement video is right on the money. Is it a long video? Is it a long video? Because we could probably watch it if it's not too long. Do you know how long it is? Oh, it's about 3. Oh yeah, we'll watch it. All right, we'll find it. Biden's announcement video. It's short. Cool. Okay, I think this is it. Whoa. Jesus, we're on the iPhone 14 already? Wow. Okay. I get what you're saying, but cannot vote for the GOP. Yeah, exactly. You vote against the GOP every time until they're significantly removed from power. Until they're significantly removed from power, then yes, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, we should be doing everything possible to get them out of power, to vote against them. Yes. And if that means voting for a shitty ass Dem candidate, so fucking be it. I understand. Trust me. The Democratic Party is not your friend. I get that. And neither should you treat them as friends. No party is your friend here. But one no party here is your friend. But one is clearly more dangerous. And I believe I believe we should do whatever we can with whatever tools that we have to diminish the Republicans in power. That's it. That's kind of like my basic position. We should be using every tool available to diminish the power of the Republican Party. And if that means voting, if that's a tool at our disposal, then by all means we should use it. We should use it while it's still there. Is this the link? Oh, that might be even easier. Okay, cool. Perfect. Okay. I'm still on iPhone 8? Yeah, I mean, I remember, like, the iPhone 8 even seems pretty recent. I still have, before I got my upgraded phone, I had a Samsung Galaxy 8, and it was still working mostly fine until like a promotion came about, and I think I got it for my I got the 21 for my birthday. Pretty sure it was for my birthday. Alio with the biddies, thank you so much, totaling 28, 14 biddies each. Thank you. I don't know if I said thank you, but I appreciate the support. Anyways, I hope that makes sense. So TLDR, yeah, you should do everything. You should do everything in your power to diminish the Republican Party. Yes, including voting them out, if you can. As far as like alternatives to Biden in 2028, I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I'm sure that more candidates are going to step up to the plate, because it will be a more open primary, I think. So we'll see what candidates we have to work with at that point. But yeah, I would like to see some kind of like younger Bernie Sanders that can kind of generate that same enthusiasm. I don't know who it Newsom. I don't know if Newsom is like a Bernie Sanders, but I almost want to say that I would even choose him over Joe Biden. He's like a tiny bit better than Joe Biden. He's like a tiny bit better. So I would choose him over Joe Biden. If that's like the choices that you give me, if that's the choices you give me, Newsom is slightly bit better than Joe Biden. But I don't know if he's going to run in 2028 or who else is going to run in 2028, because like you could have a wider field of candidates by then. So I guess like we'll cross that bridge when we get there. No to MAGA, exactly. Even if Biden wins, he'll be the oldest president, beating Reagan. Yeah. 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 All right. We got to start this this show. So let's do a quick meme story. Apparently, there's some weird back and forth that keeps happening between the Daily Wire's Candace Owens and Steven Crowder, who rumored apparently has been divorced. And now there's a whole kerfuffle about this, which the only thing that I could think that the only commentary I have to offer to this is, Steven Crowder is a horrible human being. So sucks to suck. Don't give a shit. Sorry. If you dedicate your entire career to being a piece of shit and a bully, like honestly, don't care. Don't care. Here's Candace Owens' tweet. To remind people, the video Steven used in his show of me was a video of me responding to Steven's first set of bizarre attacks against the Daily Wire. Steven's not the victim. He was never the victim. That's honestly probably true. Even if like Steven Crowder, even if Steven Crowder was like offered a really bad contract, Steven Crowder is incredibly wealthy. Steven Crowder has a fucking following. Okay, he was going to be alright no matter what. Anywho. If you're going to use your children as a human shield to block people from digging further into your divorce, please do so without inserting me into the narrative. So, yeah, apparently this is a thing. And here's a Quarter Pounder. It's absolutely disgusting that people on the right would use Steven Crowder's divorce as leverage against him, to use it against him to embarrass him. Divorce happens. It doesn't even sound like it was his choice. You expect it from the left? Oh yeah, dude, totally. The left obviously runs around using divorce as a leverage against other people. Yeah, dude, that's totally what the left does. Meanwhile, it's the right who does this. Like I don't understand where this is coming from. But nice meme. Steven Crowder accusing me of extortion is so patently insane that it honestly makes me question how there are still people who cannot see how thoroughly undone he has become. This is not stable behavior. He is a man on a spiral, outright bizarre and concerning. Maybe either she's lying, which Candace Owens is a very, very prolific liar, or like divorce is a difficult fucking thing to go through. No doubt about it. If this is true, which it seems to be true, if Steven Crowder is going through divorce, that's not exactly an easy thing to go through. I'm just not sympathetic to him because he's a piece of shit. But I can simultaneously acknowledge that is a difficult thing to do, to go through in life. I wish there was I wish there were two. Yeah, dude. True. The left's fucking policies include mutual aid and helping your community, organizing workforces like labor unions, addressing the climate crisis, making sure that people have healthcare across the board, and of course, divorce gossip. The top priorities of the left's fucking policies. True. Welcome, Holy City. The GOP party, the party of family values. True. The party of family values being full on display over here. I wish there were two parties running candidates, but not available to fund $300 million to run for president outside of the Dem or the GOP. Yeah, first of all, that's kind of a problem, isn't it? Right? That kind of brings up a massive problem. Why does it cost? $300 million to even be able to fund the presidential candidacy. That's a problem. But yeah, we have a very, very, very shitty system where you basically, for all intents and purposes, have two parties. That's it. There are alternatives. There are third parties that run around once in a while, but none of them viable. Anyways, no matter to most of its fans, their sunk costs will force them to move the goalposts, and cognitive dissonance will be damned. Yeah, I mean, like, you would think that, like, these people would be for Medicare for all, considering the fact that they're, like, hoisting these goalposts across the fucking universe all the time. Yeah, I mean, like, it is quite concerning that these people, like, move these goalposts so much. Like, their backs must be completely done. And you would think that they would advocate for, like, Medicare for all. Who knows? Anyways, I just found this as a good meme and hilarious. And I have no sympathy for Steven Crowder. No sympathy whatsoever. Yeah, herniated this from goalpost tossing. Exactly. America's obsessed with binary on so many levels. Yep. Very true. But like all things, and including nature, not everything is fucking binary. But yeah, unfortunately, that's where we're at. But yeah, this is a good meme. Again, I can simultaneously say, like, going through divorce is incredibly difficult. But also, simultaneously can say I have no sympathy for this person. No sympathy for Steven Crowder. The right-wing pundits going through the struggle. That's funny. Oh, did I? Oh, I deleted the... Okay, hold on, folks. I think I might have closed the wrong one. True. It becomes incredibly less difficult the more money you have. Steven is fine. Now he can leave the closet. True. Biden warns of rights under threat from Trump and MAGA extremists in re-election launch. So TLDR, Joe Biden has officially announced his bid for re-election. After months of hinting at a likely bid, President Biden officially announced on Tuesday that he will seek re-election. A second term as president of the U.S. How about that threat from Biden's energy policy? Which one? He's not exactly been good on that policy. Like, is he threatening to make more drilling? Is he threatening to opening up more? Like, the last thing that we covered was Biden greenlighting more areas to be drilled in the Gulf, in the Gulf of Mexico. I think was the last thing. The Willow project was the one that we covered before that, and then there was a story about the Gulf being more open for drilling. Yeah. Biden talking about the right-wing threats to marginalized people, but his energy policy hurts everybody. True. I mean, like, yeah, of course. He's not wrong about, like, the right-wing threats. Not wrong at all. But, yeah, also, It's like what I was telling Cosmic Seeking earlier. I'm not exactly like thrilled about this whole thing. Um, and nobody should expect the Democratic Party to be your friend. However, um, as I was telling Cosmic Seeking and the rest of the chat, like when you have a party like basically saying like all Democrats and you know what they mean by all Democrats, right? Like basically to them, all Democrats is like the people left to the left of like unaliving the homeless for sport. That's who the Democrats are. Okay, everybody to the left of them, is basically like the Democrats. You can kind of like the left, the Democrats, the liberals. They're all the same to these people. They call the Democratic Party like communist. Okay, so we kind of see we kind of pick up what they're throwing down. And when like you have somebody as prominent, like the literal rock star of the Republican Party, saying all Democrats are pedophiles, and then like fucking like double down on that shit, calling like one of the most prominent fucking trans influencers in TikTok, the most prominent, a big influencer, calling her one of the most prolific or most prominent pedophiles in America. I mean, I'm pretty sure we can all read between the lines. Like I said yesterday, that basically you've seen like the right wing like commentary, like their whole line is like death to pedophiles, right? So what do you think they want? Right, the lefts are commie. The left is simultaneously the communists, socialists, Democrats, liberals, like that's all the left to them. And when you have somebody as big as Marjorie Taylor Greene, saying all like the entire Democratic Party, isn't the entire Democratic Party is a pedophile is full of pedophiles, or they're all pedophiles. I mean, like, damn, dude. I don't know about you, but I can read between the lines very clearly as to what she wants done. So to make it abundantly clear, she wants you dead. I mean, MAGA GOP talking points are left are devils incarnate. Yeah. So basically, to the point where you are not human and you can do anything that happens to you is okay. Anything that happens to you is okay. Self-defense isn't a crime. Let's go. True. True. The right-wing playbook is accuse your opponent of your own crimes. Yeah, 100%. I don't disagree with that. So, like, given the situation that we're in, basically my thought process is use every single tool that you have to diminish the power of the Republican Party. Yes, every accusation is a confession and or projection. 100%. Never fails with these people. Never fails with these people. I'm waiting to find out what's going on, like what kind of skeletons like Marjorie Taylor Greene has. But yeah, every accusation from these people ends up being a confession. So, that being said, I think, in my humble opinion, we should be using every tool possible to diminish the to diminish the power of the Republican Party by any means. Besides screwing the Zanzibar. Wait, was that a thing? Marjorie Taylor Greene is obsessed about sex and guns. Probably. Wouldn't surprise me. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Okay, that was the thing. All right. When I ran for president years ago, 4 years ago, I said we were in a battle for the soul of America, and we still are. What were the question? We are facing is whether in the years ahead we have more freedom or less freedom, more rights or fewer. Biden said in a 3-minute video announcing his run. The video links images from the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol with protests over the Supreme Court decision overturning abortion rights. At 80, Biden's the oldest person to serve as president, a point that has been given Democrats pause, questioning at times whether he gives them the best chance at winning. Like, Yeah, but also, like, what policies are we going to be enacting? The former president and longtime Delaware senator is unlikely to face a serious challenge for the nomination. So, anyways, it seems like George Axel, how's it going? Most likely, yeah, it's just going to be Biden, and that's it. Biden versus Trump. It seems to me like the stage is set. And here is the 3-minute announcement.
That's why I'm running for re-election. Because I know America. That's why I'm running for re-election. Because I know America.
Do you, though?
President Joe Biden has launched his re-election campaign for 2024, a move that has long been expected.
Joe Biden is going to be running for president at a time when there's divided government. He will have House Republicans to serve as a foil for his agenda.
So what's changed for Biden since 2020, and what challenges will he face this time?
President Biden's re-election campaign is likely to focus on his record of...
Right, exactly, Holy City. The purpose of the whole, like, groomer rhetoric? Yeah, exactly, because like, in their idea, their head, they need to paint you with the worst possible brush. And what is the worst possible brush? Being painted as a fucking pedophile, okay? So once they get that into the mainstream of their audience, that like, oh yeah, the LGBTQ people are pedophiles. Once you continue to mainline this rhetoric, then violence is justified, because like I said, on many like you can watch how these people talk. You can watch how these people talk, and like, yeah, dude. I think I was like on a tangent. But to finish that small thought process from yesterday, they've even used like Bible verses to justify this shit. Exactly, those are the worst things that you can be accused of, and therefore any violent response is acceptable. Right, but like it's acceptable in the sense that like, hey, if you are doing this, then yeah, you know, the justice system ideally should there should be like a way of dealing with you, right? Because this is completely unacceptable, right? But these people want to do it extrajudicially, and then be like morally absolved, which is not the case, because like Marjorie Taylor Greene said, Dylan Mulvaney is one of the most prominent pedophiles in America today. There's no evidence for that. She just said it. She said all Democrats are pedophiles. No evidence as to that broad fucking statement. All Democrats? Really? So yeah, you're 100% correct, Holy City. That's exactly the goal. Because they want you dead. And that isn't an exaggeration. I don't think so. Yeah, Leslie Stahl, yeah, she was like, that's not nice. Okay, dude. Yeah, exactly, Alio. That's what Carpet was saying. Exactly. That's not very civil of you. Anyways, moving on to the next topic. Like, wait, whoa, really? That you're not gonna address what was just said? Okay, cool. Excellent host. Very good interview. Jesus Christ.
Getting things through the Congress like the infrastructure law, a climate package.
Oh yeah, dude, the climate package, amazing, cool. Such an awesome climate package that now we're drilling. We're opening up how many fucking projects? We got the Willow project. We got God knows how many acres are gonna be fucking opened up in the Gulf. Leslie Stahl's from the age of civility. That age is long gone. Yeah, but like, true, but also, if like, damn, if somebody like came up to me, if I was in the 60 Minutes host and Marjorie Taylor Greene was like, yeah, dude, all Democrats are pedophiles, I'd be like, wait, hold on. I'm gonna have to ask you to stop right there and explain yourself, and then like keep hammering as to how bullshit that fucking comment was and how disgusting that comment was. Like, you can't let these people get away with that type of shit. But yeah, Carpe, yeah, that's basically it. They put up with mountains of bullshit to maintain access because money, viewers, views, whatever, revenue, money. Yeah.
As well as just getting the country through the pandemic.
But those wins came when Democrats controlled both chambers of
Also, 60 Minutes needs to suck up to conservative advertising. Yeah, money. Yeah.
Congress before Republicans took the House after the midterm elections last year.
Joe Biden will often say on the campaign trail in the months ahead that there are more things that I want to get done, I want to finish the job, but there are House Republicans who are standing in the way.
Biden's team has argued that his legislative wins will resonate with voters in the election, but his approval ratings paint a different picture.
Yeah, so I have a question. Where, like, the thing that, like, kind of irritates me is that, like, these people had both the House and the Senate. I understand that it was a small margin on both House and Senate. I understand that. But, like, damn, dudes. Asleep at the fucking wheel. Holy shit.
Just over 42% of voters approve of his handling of the presidency, compared to nearly 53% who disapprove, according to a poll conducted by the website 538.
There's a lot of questions and concerns and frustration, frankly, about the level of inflation that Americans have had.
Yeah, this isn't the video. You're right. Sorry, I just got caught up in this. From Massachusetts Dems will depend on that passion again in 2024 as we work to support the national ticket. Yeah, like that's another thing that worries me. It may be the case that you can generate enough people to come out simply for the fact that, like, it's Trump running, but I don't know if we should be depending on, like, that strategy. Anyways, yeah, you're right. This is not the official announcement video. Where is this video? Okay. Joe Biden re-election announcement? Question mark? And video announcement. Okay, is this it? Where's the official announcement? Okay, maybe this is it.
Freedom, personal freedom, is fundamental to who we are as Americans.
There's nothing more important, nothing more sacred.
That's been the work of my first term, to fight for our democracy,
This shouldn't be a red or blue issue.
to protect our rights, to make sure that everyone in this country is treated equally and that everyone is given a fair shot at making it. But you know, around the country, MAGA extremists are lining up to take
This is bad optics. I get the vibe. He's not well enough to give a powerful speech IRL. Maybe.
on those bedrock freedoms. Cutting Social Security that you paid for your entire life while cutting taxes for the very wealthy. Dictating what healthcare decisions women can make. Banning books and telling people who they can love. All while making it more difficult for you to be able to vote.
True.
When I ran for president 4 years ago, I said we're in a battle for the soul of America, and we still are. The question we're facing is whether in the years ahead we have more freedom or less freedom, more rights or fewer. I know what I want the answer to be, and I think you do too. This is not a time to be complacent.
True, dude. So where the fuck were you, my dude? You're right. He's right. But like, where where the fuck were you? Imagine feeling that good about yourself. I think money helps.
That's why I'm running for re-election. Because I know America.
Do you
I know
though?
we're good and decent people.
Asterisk. Who's we?
I know we're still a country that believes in honesty and respect, and
Some people do.
treating each other with dignity.
Some
That
people
we're a
do.
nation where we give hate no safe harbor. We believe that everyone is equal, that everyone should be given a fair shot to succeed in this country.
Cool. So we're making programs to make sure that people have food, housing, education, and healthcare. We're making programs to essentially diminish people's student debt, eliminate student debt. We're making programs. We're making programs to eliminate medical debt. Like, right? Yeah. No. We're not. We're not doing that. No. Okay. 70% don't want him to run again. Yeah, I saw a poll that's like basically nobody, not a lot of people want him and Trump. They just don't want either of them to run. Poll, Biden, Trump, I guess. Yeah, here it is. Most Americans don't want Biden or Trump to run. Most Americans say they don't want former President Trump and Biden to run for president, and new polling shows. Biden formally announced on Tuesday that he's seeking re-election. Trump is the current front-runner in the Republican race, announced his bid in November. According to the NBC News poll, 70% of Americans believe Biden should not run for re-election, with 51% of Democrats saying that. The poll was taken before Biden officially announced his re-election bid. Meanwhile, 60% of Americans, including a third of Republicans, say Trump should not run for president. Yeah, so I think we get the picture. I think we kind of get the picture here. The U.S. political committee wants the same candidates. I disagree, but who else will be funded with 500 million? Yeah, but like it's not even about like who has that amount of money. It's like, damn, dude, can we get some decent candidates? And why is it that like this political committee I'm assuming that what you were referring to is the DNC or RNC. Why are they such powerful entities? The youth are upset on TikTok that the establishment is ignoring Marianne Williamson. Yeah, but I don't know about Marianne Williamson. I'm gonna be honest. I know that she has some good points, but I don't know. Give the man his 3 minutes and then shoot the shit. Well, we're not shooting the shit. That's the thing. All this is relevant to Joe Biden candidacy. If Axios is correct, then the voting numbers will be low. Yeah, and if so, that's a fucking problem. We'll get into that in a second. Hold on, we gotta finish this.
You're choosing us.
Every generation of Americans has faced a moment when they have to defend democracy. Stand up for our personal freedom. Stand up for the right to vote and our civil rights. And this is our moment. So if you're with me, go to joebiden.com and sign up. Let's finish this job. I know we can. Because this is the United States of America. There's nothing, simply nothing we cannot do if we do it together.
Well, nothing we can't do except give people healthcare, whatever. Sounds more like let's finish ourselves off. Huh? I'm sad to see Peter Dow hooking his wagon to Marianne. He should fucking know better. Yeah. You are part of the job we have to finish, Joe. Cannot have Trump or DeSantis. Yeah, I don't know if, like, based on, like, what the vibes I'm getting, I don't know if DeSantis is even gonna run. Like, I know they keep polling. They keep polling as if, like, he's a candidate, but I don't think he's going to run. I don't think he's gonna run. You cannot have Trump or DeSantis, but yeah, this is true. A Republican victory is not acceptable. So here's the problem. Alio, you pointed out that yes, based on the fact that, like, we're back to, like, we're back to square one. Not a lot of people are going to be enthusiastic this time around, which kind of worries me, because, like, in the last election, there was definitely a little bit more enthusiasm to there was a lot of enthusiasm to remove Trump, and that kind of, like, propelled the necessary fuel to win in 2020. However, this one's going to be even closer. This election is going to be even closer, and I predict still that Biden's going to win a general matchup against Trump. But what I'm scared of is it being so close that that these MAGA people will think that the election was stolen. They will think that the election is stolen because they've been primed since 2020 and beforehand. For years now, at this point, they're being primed to basically say that anything but a Trump victory was stolen, and we will not let what happened last time happen again. And I think that these people will undeniably get violent, more so than the insurrection in January 6th. I believe that I believe that's a possibility. I made it. Hey, Echo Wrestle Dragon. The Dems never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity. That's true. That's very true. It'll be contested, and they're all wolves in wolves clothing. I mean, they're politicians. Yeah. They're politicians. Yeah. Worst cases, of course, get involved in more than a few states. Yeah, it'll be contested and tied up in the right-wing courts. They'll redo Bush 2000. Oh man, don't even manifest that, because that can you imagine, like, that'll be like the ultimate like dictator kind of thing, where you have, like, you know, Bush was horrible. Bush was pretty horrible. But can you imagine Trump being installed by the courts? Can you imagine Trump being installed by the courts? Oh man, yikes. They did get away with it twice. Yeah, going out, yeah, they don't, we saw the, quote yesterday. We saw the quote yesterday of the Republican state legislature. The Republican state legislator said that a national vote, having like a national popular vote, would strengthen the individual's vote, and that's closer to democracy. And we know that we can't have that because it's bad. So yeah, Carpe, they're not really interested in the popular vote. They don't really give a shit. This is all like the most thinnest of thinnest veneer for these people. Yeah. They really don't care. They do not care about the popular vote. They do not care about whatever semblance of democratic systems that are still kind of sort of in place. They don't really give a shit. It's actually happened 5 times in American history. Bush and Trump are the last 2. Yeah, the affirmative action essentially for Republicans, the Electoral College, and they know this. They know this. That's why they play semantics about we're not a democracy, we're a representative republic, and that's why you have quotes now out in the open about how like democracy isn't actually good, and that's why we shouldn't have a national popular vote, even though that's how that same state legislator got voted into office. Okay, cool, nice meme. Anywho, there it is. Biden officially announcing that he's running for re-election. The stage is set, folks. Most likely it's going to be a Trump Biden rematch, and that does worry me a little bit. That does worry me. Electoral college both sucks ass and is more sacred than anything during an election. Yep. Because like these people will simultaneously talk about like the sanctity of the individual votes, and that's why we have to do all these recounts and why we have to do all these recounts and challenge these electoral results because it's rigged. According to the Republicans, it's all rigged, and every vote is important and needs to be counted, while also simultaneously saying that strengthening that same individual vote is actually closer to democracy, and we can't have that. Like these people are talking out of like both ends of their mouth. It's on purpose, folks. Trust me, it's on purpose. Hang on, folks. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Buckle up, Buttercup. That's not an exaggeration, folks. Yeah. It's going to be a rough one. Especially coming into like, I'm only talking about like how the political landscape looks like. Never mind like the whole like economic stuff and like all this like garbage that has been like essentially the culmination of like, the inability to criticize capitalism at whatever. That's a separate other whole behemoth that we're kind of like looking down at. But I'm only talking about like the political landscape of like 2 very unpopular candidates, but one of which has a completely divorced from reality base, and not only just a base that is divorced from reality, but like a cult-like base that is loyal, a cult-like base that is loyal, and then asterisks on top of that, is completely fine with violence, completely fine with and actually okay and wanting violence. So that's basically the problem we're having here, and it's kind of a powder keg if you ask me. If Trump is not king, Trump will whine for 10 years about the elections. I mean, if Trump loses, that's it. That's it, you know? If Trump loses, that's it. For his political career, right? Who do you think might run in 2028? Cosmic Seeking was asking me this question. I don't know. Or he asked me, who would I want? Who would I want? And the reality is, I don't know. In 2028, we may have a much wider field that opens up. So I don't know. Hold on, we'll make the poll. Let's just get through 2024 to see if we all live to 2028. True. Trump thinks that the only way to stay out of jail is to die in office. Yep. Fetterman. I mean, I would prefer Fetterman over Biden. And if Fetterman joins the race in 2028, yeah, that's a good candidate. Yeah, I would be okay with Fetterman being a candidate. There we go. All right, take your votes, folks. And not having a fascist government by 2028, yeah, that's like priority numero uno, folks. Like that's why I stress so much to do whatever we can and to utilize whatever tools that are in front of us that are currently available to us to diminish the political power of the Republican Party. That is like priority numero uno. Is to diminish the power of the Republican Party as much as humanly possible. That is the goal. The Republican Party has no business anywhere near power. And we should do whatever we can with whatever tools, with whatever time that we have to do whatever we can in that respect. And if that means voting them out, yeah, you should use that tool as part of the many tools in your toolbox. Tucker will be making Joe Rogan money. Tucker is more. I think Tucker is more wealthier than Joe Rogan, right? I don't think he cares. The point of celebrating Tucker being off air is that exactly, is him being off air. Him being off air is a net positive for everybody. He's so rich that it won't matter if he doesn't have a job. That's not the problem. That's not the point. Tucker wants power to affect people's lives. He's not that easy to please. He's a white supremacist. True. The good thing about him losing his show is that he does lose a sizable amount of his reach. While he might pop up in a personal podcast, or I don't know, maybe the clowns at the Daily Wire might hire him. I mean, Ben Shapiro might hire him, or whoever runs the Daily Wire now. But other than that, I mean, like, he won't have the same audience if he decides to pop up back up again. He will reemerge elsewhere, maybe, but I don't think he'll have the same audience or reach. Tucker runs a channel, or the Daily Wire. Maybe he might. I don't know. Old money versus new money, but Tucker's like 3 times richer than Joe. Yeah, there you go. He's like a trust fund baby, isn't he? He's like a trust fund guy. His monetary issues isn't the problem. His monetary issue isn't the problem. The problem is that he will diminish his reach. That's it. That's the best we can hope for, is to diminish his reach. The no's have it. Tucker will, according to chat, Tucker may not get into politics. I mean, in terms of like running for office, yeah, probably not, to be honest. I'll agree with you guys on that one. Yeah, he's a trust fund baby. He's like a heir to the Swanson, whatever. Are Tucker's lawyers are suing for severance packages? Probably. Wouldn't surprise me. RT would hire Carlson. I heard that's like that was like a rumor that was going around, but honestly, unironically, it wouldn't surprise me if that ended up being like a situation that happened. Let's put it that way. Anyways. Let's see if I did not mess up here. Okay. Did I have the... Oh, shoot. Okay, so let's talk... Let's take a lowercase w. Let's take a little lowercase w. Minnesota House passes recreational marijuana bill in a vote of 71 to 59. Congratulations to Minnesota. You're one step closer, folks. One step closer. The Minnesota House on Tuesday passed a recreational marijuana bill in a 71 to 59 vote. What about Don Lemon getting sacked? I mean, like, I know he's like been cringe in the past. And I don't watch his show enough because I don't care. But whatever. I think he got sacked over like some really cringy, like misogynistic stuff. But I'm not sure. If so, oh well. Bye bye. The Senate vote on a bill, hey, come back here, is scheduled on Friday. There are some differences between each proposal that will likely be sorted out during a conference committee. A joint meeting of the lawmakers of both chambers. Governor Tim Walz has said that he will sign the bill as soon as it gets to his desk. HF 100 as amended on a 71 to 59 vote. This bill would legalize recreational cannabis, expunge misdemeanor cannabis cases, and fund education, treatment, and law enforcement programs. It now goes to the Senate. With respects to everything else except for funding law enforcement programs, cool. I agree with this. The 300-page bill would allow recreational marijuana use for adults and shift a black market into a state-regulated industry. Lawmakers have started debating it on Monday night before adjourning until Tuesday morning when they resumed their discussions and later held the vote. Our current cannabis laws aren't working for Minnesota, House Speaker Melissa Hartman said after the bill was passed. Criminalizing a product that many people think should be available continues a legacy of racial injustice that is no longer defensible. True, the sensible legislation addresses racial inequities in our criminal justice system and mitigates risks posed by legalizing the adult use of cannabis. It is time to end prohibition and move forward with legislation. True. Oh, so it was about some cringy like comments. Don Lemon regrets saying Nikki Haley's past her quote-unquote prime. Jesus. Startled some colleagues on CNN Morning Show with his implication of Republican presidential candidate. Nikki Haley, at age 51, was past her prime. Yikes. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry, Don Lemon explained why he was uncomfortable with the age discussion. When a woman is considered to be in her prime, when a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s, 30s, and maybe her 40s. Prime for what? Harlow replied. Lemon said that if you look it up on Google, a woman is considered to be in prime in those ages. Harlow tried to clarify what Don Lemon was referencing. I think we need to qualify. You're talking about prime for childbearing, or are you talking about prime for being, yeah, like, this is cringy. Holy yikes, dude. Yeah. Who knows if this is exactly the reason why he got, I don't eat licorice, bro. Stop it. Anyways. Later Thursday, Lemon issued a statement saying that he regretted his unartful and irrelevant references to a woman's prime age. Yeah, talk about misogyny. Yeah, this is what I thought this was about. Like some really cringy misogynistic statements. Which, yeah, cool. Bye-bye. Bye. Anyways. The bill would allow people 21 and older to buy, sell, if approved, for state business licenses and use marijuana. The proposal would create a new state office of cannabis management tasked with oversight. Minnesotans look to cash in would apply for business license for the green light to grow, manufacture, or sell marijuana at dispensaries. It would also automatically expunge low-level cannabis convictions and set up an expungement board to consider felony offenses in a move that supporters say reflects a core goal of the bill, righting the wrongs of cannabis prohibition that has disproportionately harmed people of color. True. This bill is grounded in racial justice and represents one of the most significant criminal justice reforms in our state's history. House Majority Leader Jamie Long said, while people of all races use cannabis roughly at the same rate, black Minnesotans are more than 3 times more likely to be arrested for possession, than white Minnesotans. Through this bill, we are expunging low-level cannabis convictions and making sure that the people harmed by the most by prohibition have opportunities to succeed. Cool. That's very important in any cannabis legislation, is like the expungement of these crimes. And I think basically like any victimless crime that involves like marijuana should just be yeeted out of the books. But that's just me. It seems pretty silly for the nation to continue holding on to outdated prejudice against marijuana users. Cat's out of the bag. It's only a matter of time. Hopefully, that is the case. It's as far as like marijuana goes or weed, it should just be legal. I mean, like really, it should just be legal. You got like shit like alcohol. Come on. But you can blame conservatives mostly on this issue. If the proposal is signed into law, weed will no longer be illegal in Minnesota by the summer, but getting the regulated industry up and running will take at least a year. Representative Zach Stevenson, one of its authors, said Minnesota would also become the 23rd state to legalize weed. So here's what basically this would do. You may possess up to 2 ounces of cannabis flower in a public space or 1.5 pounds in a residence. Possess or transport no more than 8 grams of adult use cannabis concentrate. Possess or transport edible products infused with up to 800 milligrams of THC. Give away cannabis flower and cannabinoid products to an amount that is legal for a person to possess in public. In other words, you're good. If you break off like some and give to your friends in public, cool. Use cannabis flower and cannabinoid products in private areas. I mean, yeah, no shit. Cultivate up to 8 cannabis plants, of which 4 or fewer may be mature flowering plants. Oh, you can even grow your own. Cool. Nice. So yeah, this is like kind of like par for the course that should be across the board. At the very least, the idea of legalizing weed and expunging records, all criminal records that are victimless and have no what is it? Violent like attributes. Anything like that should just basically be expunged and done away with, and just legalize it. One and a half pounds is quite a party. True. I don't know. I wouldn't even know what to do with 1.5 pounds. Violent convictions / violent offenders. Right. Because, like, I mean, think about it. Like, if you've been caught for, like, dealing, if you were caught for, like, dealing marijuana, and, like, there was nothing, like, aggravating, on top, like, on that charge, like, you weren't, like, trying to do anything to anybody, like, damn, dude, they're gonna legalize the ability for you to sell shit in dispensaries. So, yeah. Don't forget about the prison industrial complex, true. They want their prisons full because of money they make out of prisoners, so it's no surprise that they drag on their feet. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly, that's exactly, it right there. It starts with getting it federally descheduled. Yes. Anyways, small W, lowercase w, I'll take it. And I hope that this kind of becomes like a national thing, instead of having to fight for it state by state. But yeah, small W, I guess. Hey everyone, new Supreme Court scandal just dropped. Yeah, cool. It keeps happening. And like again, I like would like to point your attention to that article that Justice Roberts penned about him being super big mad about people questioning the integrity of the Supreme Court. And now, like, what, maybe a year or something later, we're getting all this shit? Law firm CEO with U.S. Supreme Court dealings bought property from Gorsuch. The U.S. Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch made as much as $500,000 from a 2017 real estate sale, according to a new report, but did not disclose the identity of the buyer. The chief executive of a law firm with extensive business before the High Court. Uh-oh. Damn. The news represents a new headache for the Chief Justice, John Roberts, whose Democrats want to testify over extensive media reporting about the relationship between Clarence Thomas and another conservative and Republican megadonor and apparently Nazi admirer, Harlan Crow. Gorsuch was confirmed in 2017, the first of 3 appointments under Trump, which tilted the court firmly right. Damn. Just saying, every time Republicans win elections, bad shit happens. Just saying. He has since voted with conservative majorities in decisions, including the removal of the federal rights to abortion and loosening of gun control laws. The chief executive who bought property from Gorsuch, Brian Duffy of Greenberg Traurig, told Politico that he had never spoken to Gorsuch. I've never met him. Doesn't mean the deal didn't happen. It doesn't mean that money didn't hit his account. The chief executive who brought, but the news of Duffy's $1.825 million purchase of Colorado property, of which Gorsuch was one of the 3 co-owners, which the justice said in the disclosure documents netted him between $250,001 and $500,000 after being on the market for 2 years, followed news of Crow's largesse to Thomas. Harlan gets an A+ for how to meddle with the SCOTUS. Yep. ProPublica reported Crow's gifts, including luxury travel and holidays, to Thomas's failure to declare them. Amid widespread reporting about Crow's collection of Nazi memorabilia, including paintings of Adolf Hitler, and ProPublica also reported that Crow bought property from Thomas, a house in Georgia in which Thomas's mother lives. Thomas said he was advised that he did not need to declare such gifts, blah, blah, blah. Calls for action against Thomas, including impeachment, are unlikely to produce results because we're okay with that, apparently. But public trust in the court has reached historic lows. I wonder why that is, and who is to blame? I wonder why that is. Politico said Duffy's firm has been involved in at least 22 cases before or presented to the court, including filing of amicus briefs or representing parties while Gorsuch was on the court. In the 12 cases where Gorsuch's opinion is recorded, he sided with Greenberg Traurig clients 8 times and against them 4 times. Damn. Must be nice. Politico also noted Greenberg's involvement in a major lawsuit over climate change plan during Obama's presidency. Gorsuch said it joined the court's other 5 conservatives in agreeing with the plaintiffs, including Greenberg's client, that the EPA had overstepped its authority by regulating carbon emissions from power plants. Gorsuch, Politico said, did not respond to inquiries about property sale, his disclosures, or whether he should have reported Duffy's identity as the purchaser. Yeah, and side note, he should have recused himself. Duffy said he did not know Gorsuch was a co-owner when he made the offer, adding the fact that he was going to be a Supreme Court justice was absolutely irrelevant to the purchase. The Democratic chair of the Senate Judiciary, Dick Durbin, said, "We have seen a steady stream of revelations regarding the Supreme Court justice falling short of the ethical standards expected of other federal judges and public servants." But the Supreme Court doesn't have a set of ethics. So, yeah. Cool. The Democratic chair, the need for the Supreme Court ethics reform is clear, and if the court does not take adequate action, the Congress must. I agree. Kyle Herrick, president watchdog of the Accountable.us, said, without decisive action, the conservatives on the Supreme Court will forever tarnish its reputation on our public life. I think they already did. I think that they already did. It speaks volumes when you have somebody like Clarence Thomas and these guys just like engaging in corruption of the highest order. And Republicans are not going to do anything about it. In fact, many of them have said that they did nothing wrong. It's okay. In fact, it's okay, including like, I forget which representative or senator says like, yeah, dude, this happens all the time. Oh, Robert, was it Robert Kennedy? I think it was Robert Kennedy. I want to say it was Robert Kennedy, who was like, oh, dude, there's nothing out of the ordinary here. This shit happens all the time. Like, what? It's just wild to me that it's just cool. It's A-okay. John Kennedy. I'm sorry. John Kennedy. Was it? Yeah, it was John Kennedy. I'm sorry. Not Robert Kennedy. Let me see.
I think that the country deserves to have a credible assessment of these claims and what the evidence shows. And the mechanism to try to force that is denying certification on the 6th.
Yikes. Okay, so here we have apparently Maria Bartiromo and Senator Ted Cruz essentially basically making the argument that he believes that there is credibility to the claims that the election was stolen on 2020, and that the only way to kind of stop and assess everything is to not certify the winner with no evidence whatsoever, even though like the claims have gone through courts and all this other stuff. He seems to be of the opinion that actually we should just stop the presses and essentially not certify an election that was already done, already called, and without any sufficient evidence to be like, hey, we need to check this out. There's no evidence whatsoever in that 2020 election that we should have stopped the certification, that there was no evidence whatsoever that there was a reason why those results weren't good. The only evidence that seems to be coming out is plots by the Republican Party to overturn that election. That's the only evidence that has been continuously been shown above. And side note, I think there was another thing that I wanted to talk about, but I couldn't get to. So I guess we'll talk about this here. Hold on. Like now that you reminded me of this, this is massive. This is massive, and like again, this is like this barely made news. Republican operatives, Trump operatives, considered using breach voting data, which they caused, to decertify the Senate runoff in 2021. In mid-January of 2021, two men hired by the former president, Trump's legal team, discussed over text message what they can do with data obtained from a breach voting machine in a rural county in Georgia, and whether to, including whether to use it as part of an attempt to decertify the state's pending Senate runoff result. The text sent 2 weeks after the operatives breached a voting machine in Coffee County, Georgia, revealed for the first time that the Trump allies were considered using the voting data not only to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election, but also in an effort to keep a Republican hold on the Senate. Yeah, quote, here's the plan. Let's keep this close. Hold. Jim Penrose, a former NSA official working with Trump lawyer Sidney Powell, to access voting machines in Georgia, wrote in a January 19 text to Doug Logan, CEO of Cyber Ninjas. Yeah, the now defunct firm that supposedly audits voting systems, but they've never done that before except that one time, but now they don't exist. Like, whatever. Dog and pony show, essentially. In the text, which was obtained by CNN and has not been previously reported, Penrose references the upcoming certification of Democrat Jon Ossoff's win over Republican David Perdue. We only have until Saturday to decide if we're going to use this to report to try to decertify the Senate runoff or if we hold it for a bigger moment. Yeah. And this breach was caused by Republicans, and they wanted to use that same breach as a pretext to be like, stop the presses. We need to consider decertifying these results. This is wild. This is wild that this isn't like wall-to-wall coverage. This is ludicrous. Am I making the case more and more? Like, why clearly we have like a problem here, and like, while Democrats are incredibly cringe, they're not your friends. The point being is that we must do everything we can to stop these people. They're going to do all this shit and likely much more, especially since there's no consequences for any of this shit. 100%. Yeah. Ted Cruz sounding a lot more competent behind the scenes than he does on record. Good point. Yeah, consequences for any of this shit? 0. Correct. It's just wild. It's just wild that this isn't like wall-to-wall coverage. And like wild that there's going to be no accountability. So far, there hasn't been any accountability. And my hopes for any accountability in the future, probably none. None. So we have a political party that essentially has said that they don't think democracy is a good thing. They continuously have shown that they are completely okay with using undemocratic means that are even some of which are even built into this system to obtain power, to hold power. And we're still like pretending that, like, I don't know. It's just wild to me that there's no accountability here, and it is very clear to me the present danger. It's staring at me in the face. Lindell is suffering. It's not enough. More lawsuits are coming. Yeah, but I don't really. Yeah, Lindell's a problem, and I hope that he gets sued out of existence. But this is not. Yeah, this is bigger. This is bigger. Because of him, maybe. Anyways, because corporate media needs to spend 16 hours a day shining a light up Trump's ass and the other 8 hours promoting or commenting on white supremacy and all the BS stories around the country. Yeah, I mean, like, I think the media does have a role to play as to why we are here. But yeah, so cliche by now. But the libs are behaving in regards to our conservatives, and Trumps are just the ones that did in Germany and Hitler and the Nazi Party. I know. I said this like a year, maybe, well, a long time ago. What seems to me is a long time ago. I said that these are some fucking Weimar vibes. Okay, we're getting some Weimar vibes, and we got like the closest thing to a fucking putsch on January 6th. And the thing is, what's scary about this is like these people aren't gonna let up, and these people have been primed for years now that any election that they don't win, it's automatically rigged and stolen. And they're not, given the fact that, like, clearly, let's be honest and put, feet on the ground. The reality is Biden isn't exactly a popular candidate, right? We can all agree on that. It's just facts. Biden isn't exactly the most popular guy. And if it ends up being the case, which most likely it will be, that it is a Trump versus Biden general election and Biden wins by a very slim margin, these people are going to lose their collective shit. And I think that these people, especially with their eagerness for violence, they're very eager to go to the violent side of things. That I expect that it's possible that these people might do some things in that regard. Ludicrous that this is a thing. Anyways, thank you for reminding me, Alio. Most of all Americans and likely many politicians, especially Dems. Dems are like, Dems are asleep at the fucking wheel. With some are like willing, like with some, like Dems are like asleep at the wheel and like at this point, like also enabling this thing to continue. But yeah, truly believe that it can't happen. That it can't happen here, and that's even more dangerous thinking because that informs how they act also. Yeah, the idea that it quote unquote can't happen here is ludicrous, especially with all the stuff that you're seeing now, especially how Republicans are acting, especially how like this Republican base is like a cult, essentially that's been like galvanized around this like cult of personality that is Trump. And that has basically co-opted the entire party and movement. That basically all like the stuff that used to be kind of like cliche and like hidden under layers of like veneers is now just like out in the open. Yeah, these are all massive red flags. These are all massive red flags. Anyway, speaking of domestic terrorism, former Proud Boy chair Enrique Tarrio, the man prosecuted portrayed as the ringleader of the January 6th insurrection, told jurors on Tuesday that he's merely a scapegoat for the real culprit. Oh man, oh this just got even better. Donald Trump. I wonder if they'll use this testimony, because this is testimony under oath. I wonder if they'll use this as like part of like this whole investigation under that's happening under Trump right now. This is his testimony. Noted Fed Enrique Tarrio. Yes, exactly. Quote, it was Donald Trump's words. It was his motivation. His motivation. Yeah, it's the whole thing that we've been saying. It was his anger that caused what occurred on January 6th in your amazing and beautiful city, said Naib Hassan, Tarrio's lawyer, during closing arguments in a seditious conspiracy trial stemming from the January 6th insurrection. So yeah, like, listen, bro, it wasn't me. I was under the direction of Trump. I was inspired by him. He is a loser. All these guys are losers. Okay. Hassan leaned heavily into the role Trump played in ginning up the crowd at his rally in the morning of January 6th, just minutes before the insurrectionists began breaching police barricades at the Capitol. Trump urged his supporters to, quote, fight like hell in just 36 minutes before the first wave of the insurrectionists charged at the police, Hassan noted. I mean, yeah, when they hear shit like this, what do you think that means? What do you think? Save our country, fight like hell. Yeah, these people clearly understood the assignment. It was not Enrique Tarrio. They wanted to use Enrique Tarrio as a scapegoat for Trump and those in power. While I agree that he's nothing but like a pawn being used by Trump, it doesn't excuse his insurrectionary behavior. Let's be very clear, okay? Just because Trump also has like a massive a massive blame to shoulder, it does not excuse the actions of a grown-ass adult who decided that he was going to participate in insurrectionary behavior or direct from his place insurrectionary behavior, or to incite insurrectionary behavior, right? Like, come on. Trump has loomed in the background of Tario's trial, the most significant to emerge from the January 6th insurrection on Congress. He's charged alongside 4 other Proud Boy leaders, in orchestrating a violent effort to derail the transfer of power from Trump to Biden. The jury is expected to receive the case and begin deliberating Tuesday afternoon. Today. Prosecutors say leaders loyal to Trump and fearful of the Proud Boys' survival in a post-Trump America devised plans to keep Trump in office. And throughout the 4-month trial, the Justice Department repeatedly emphasized how Tario and the Proud Boys keyed off and drew energy from Trump's own bid to subvert the 2020 election. Yes, the group's plan went into overdrive, the prosecutors say, after Trump's December 2019 tweet calling on the supporters to descend on Washington on January 6th to challenge the election results. Apparently now I'm being advertised knives? Cooking, cheese knives? Cheese, bread, tomato? I don't... Okay. In tandem with their efforts to support Trump, the Proud Boys also soured on their once close relationship with law enforcement, prosecutors say becoming enraged at the cops, particularly in Washington, after they failed to apprehend the man who stabbed 4 Proud Boys outside a bar in December of 2020. That anger at police carried over into the Proud Boys' posture towards law enforcement on January 6th. Hassan said it was Trump pulling the strings and driving events ahead of January 6th, not Tario. Oh man, this keeps getting better and better. He was joined in that contention by Big's lawyers Norm Pattis, who said Trump and his cadre of lawyers stoked the stop the steal fervor among millions of his supporters. Yes, that's true. That's true. However, again, it does not excuse the actions that you did. Total shit defense, he's toast. I hope so, because, yeah, while that may be true, well, you know, obviously Trump had massive influence on why things went down the way they did. Absolutely, and Trump should, in a just world, see consequences for all this. It does not excuse the individual actions of these insurrectionists, period, full stop. Sorry. You approach to level 10 of the fuck around, and now you're going to find out. I think they're giving too much credit for the planning. To who? To Trump? Because these Proud Boys are, like, make no mistake, they're very organized. Oh, giving Trump? Maybe. Maybe. The leader of the quote, leader of the free world sold his narrative, and many members of the Proud Boys believed it. Pattis said the people believed their president. He's not on trial here, much though I wish he were. Jesus, they just literally grabbed Trump and said, look, here's the train, here's the bus, sorry, and just like yeeted him under the bus. And just completely yeeted him under the bus. Hilarious. However, again, this has nothing to do with the individual actions of these insurrectionists, so I don't even know how that's going to bear out. Like Mono said, pretty shit defense if you ask me. If my president tells me my republic is being stolen, who do I listen to? The thief or the commander-in-chief? A nation of strangers gathered together as their commander-in-chief sold a lie. Great. I agree, actually. I actually agree with this statement. However, A, why are you so attached to a president? Why are you so attached to a political leader is beyond me. I mean, like, it's a fucking cult. No, so yeah, I kind of answered my own question, but like, anyways, also, follow-up question. While that is true that he incited all this, he manipulated people to act in this way. He channeled everybody, all these like far-right people, and channeled their proclivity for violence, and that's what manifested. Yes, completely true. However, that does not excuse what happened here. Trump is talented at manipulating emotions, but he's no political strategist. Maybe. Hassan noted that Trump contributed to a surge in Proud Boy recruitment after invoking the group and urging members to, quote, stand back and stand by. During a televised debate against Biden, the membership boomed, harmed the group's vetting, and led to undisciplined members provoking unconstrained violence and street clashes in Washington in November and December. Nah. These fucking guys, this gang turned like domestic terrorists, have been doing this shit since their inception, okay? Listen to like the clips of Gavin McInnes when he was like originally founding the Proud Boys. The whole point of the Proud Boys, according to McGinnis, who founded the damn group, was to be violent. So don't tell me that like, oh well, you know, we now because there was too many people we couldn't vet them and like that's why violent. Nah. These people were violent from the beginning. That was their whole point. Gavin McInnes said so himself. Anywho, that led Tario to form a new Proud Boy chapter dubbed the Ministry of Self-Defense to select Proud Boys who could be trusted to follow rules and obey orders. That chapter, which grew to hundreds nationwide, became the core group that Tario helped assembled in Washington on January 6. Prosecutors said the Ministry of Defense, or MOSD, was really a fighting force that Tario mobilized to attack the seat of government in service of keeping Trump in power. Not surprised. Hundreds of members joined the Proud Boy leaders in Washington and were prominent parts of the crowd that breached the barricades in the first wave of the insurrection. In numerous cases, Proud Boys in this group were among those who helped topple barricades or tussled with police in ways that helped clear a path for the insurrection to advance closer to the Capitol. Ministry of Defense, they're such dorks. They're dangerous dorks, okay? Don't make no mistake about it. Most of the coherent stuff that falls out of Trump's words have people like Stephen Miller's fingerprints all over it. Not surprising, as he was one of the most prominent speechwriters, right? We are very lucky that these groups are mostly incompetent. I mean, mostly incompetent in the sense that, like, yeah, basically. Mostly incompetent in, like, the sense that, like, they just, I guess, didn't cross that line. But I'm afraid that next time we might not be so lucky. Maybe next time they're gonna be like, well, this is for real now. We're not going to take we're not going to take no for an answer. This election was rigged, and we got to do what we got to do. They have elevated the act of insurrection to a profession, whether it's by legal or illegal means. Yep. But yeah, I agree with you, Mono. He's still Trump's writer. Oh, not surprising. That would not surprise me in the least. Hassan emphasized that Tario's role in the entire sequence of events was tenuous. He was arrested in Washington on January 4th for burning a BLM flag after the December 12th pro-Trump march. After he was released from police custody, he was ordered to leave Washington, went to a hotel in Baltimore where he observed the events of January 6th. Yeah, and communicated and coordinated with people there on the ground. Little detail there. Prosecutors said Tario made public comments and social media posts that encouraged his men as they entered the Capitol, and at one point saying, "Don't effing leave," as the insurrectionists occupied the Capitol. These comments, prosecutors say, proved the real purpose of the Proud Boys' presence, as their handpicked members helped overwhelm the police, even after Pizzola had used the stolen police riot shield to smash a Senate window and ignite the breach of the building. Tario and other leaders never rebuked them or urged them to pull back. Make no mistake, Tario told a group of National Proud Boy leaders in a private chat, "We did this." Here he is taking ownership of that. We did this. It was us. So don't tell me that like, oh, well, Daddy Trump made me do it and I had no other choice but to follow Daddy Trump. No. Hassan spent much of his closing arguments urging jurors not to convict Tario because they disliked him. Tario was a brash, said offensive things, and often acted like an entertainer. No, he acts like a fucking domestic terrorist. That's what he acts like. Not let your dislike for Enrique Tario affect your judgment in that jury room. It's not about disliking the dude, okay? It's about whether or not he engaged in this seditious behavior that he's being on trial for, in which case, like, the evidence points to, yeah. Dislike of defendants was a theme in Proud Boys' closing arguments. Pizzola's attorney, Steve Metcalf, urged jurors not to confuse their dislike for Pizzola with potential guilt of the crimes he's charged with. Even if you hate him, put that aside in judging the facts. I mean, yeah, dude. Metcalf agreed that Pizzola broke the law, as Pizzola largely did when he took the stand last week, but said he's not guilty of seditious conspiracy, which he called a fairy tale dust conspiracy created out of nowhere. Nah, not out of nowhere. Metcalf contended Pizzola's relationship with the other defendants was nearly non-existent even on January 6th, but he said the prosecutor needed to link him to Tarrio and other defendants to prove that violence, destruction, and anger were part of the conspiracy. Yeah. I mean, you've got, like, the leader of the fucking Proud Boys saying, like, yeah, dude, we did this in a private chat. Like, yeah. What did they need Dom for? You needed Dom to muddy up these guys. They needed dirt. Yeah, whatever. They're all domestic terrorists, in my eyes. The War Boys. That's what his hat says. The War Boys. Fucking clown. Anyways. Washington State Capitol is closed to public in due of security concerns about Republican gun nuts, as Governor Inslee signed a bill into law to ban the sale of AR-15s and 50 other kind of assault weapons because they, quote, have no reason other than mass murder and exist to kill humans as rapidly as possible in large numbers. I mean, was there a threat to the state capitol? Because that's not okay. So I'll go over this really quickly. Rapid ocean warming ahead of El Nino alarms scientists because, yeah, this kind of just keeps happening. This month, the global sea surface hit a new record high and has never warmed this much this quickly. Scientists don't fully understand why this has happened, but they worry that combined with other weather events, the world's temperature could reach a concerning new level by the end of next year. Surprise, surprise, it continues to show that the situation's kind of fucked. Experts believe that a strong El Nino weather event, a weather system that heats the ocean, will also set in over the next months. And over the next months is hurricane season. Cool. Warmer oceans can kill off marine life, lead to more extreme weather, and raise sea levels. They also are less efficient at absorbing planet warming. So, yeah. Cool. Keeps happening, folks. We keep getting these reports that really show just how dire the situation is. Should Trump and the Republicans get back in 24, there's no shot this time that Trump / they don't try to hold on to power, make himself the last POTUS and fuck knows what else. I mean, I don't know. It's not out of... it wouldn't be out of character if he tried. What would scare me is if Republicans happen to maintain the House, win the presidency, and win the Senate, because they already have the Supreme Court. At that point, all bets are off. So yeah, that might get scary. Yeah, he kept joking about, no, he's not joking. he's not joking. If he had his way, no. Scientists, quote, surprised. Yeah, well. What's surprising is just how F the situation is, and they keep uncovering, like, you know, more abnormal situations. So, yeah. It's pretty effed, folks. It's pretty effed. We'll go over this one really quickly because, like, I mean, what else is new? North Dakota. More and more scientists are surprised how effed it is. Yeah, and how quickly it's going. Well, his comment about rounding up homeless people is pretty disturbing. Yes, it was. You know, as Deepak said, historically, people who are big fans of camps historically don't that's never a good thing. Breaking, CNN drops a bombshell revealing that Chief Justice Robert Roberts notified, blah, blah, blah. He won't testify. Damn, maybe they should subpoena him. Since he won't do it willingly, then he should be subpoenaed. If he doesn't want to testify on like the voluntary way, subpoena the motherfucker. Okay? Because, like, I mean, seriously, like, the Supreme Court is completely out of pocket, completely out of order. If he doesn't want to testify, that's fine. Subpoena the motherfucker. Okay? Why is his Supreme Court, as a Chief Justice, why is his Supreme Court currently embroiled in a bunch of, not just like any kind of scandals, but like super fucking suspect corruption scandals of the highest order? Like, damn, really? Anyways, yeah, North Dakota being North Dakota, essentially they decided to go the way of Texas or Florida, I believe. He's a public servant, and his actions are a slap to the face of every American worker, of every American, period. Yes, North Dakota on Monday adopted one of the strictest anti-abortion laws in the country. Republican Governor Doug Burgum signed legislation banning the procedure throughout pregnancy, with slim exceptions of up to 6 weeks gestation, and of course the exclusions are rape, incest, or medical emergencies such as an ectopic pregnancy. Which medical emergency? Who knows what that means? This bill clarifies and refines existing state law and reaffirms North Dakota as a pro-life state. Yeah, fuck you. This is what happens when Republicans win power. They do not care about your bodily autonomy. And make no mistake, they won't stop. Make no mistake, the reason why this is so important to keep continuing to harp on is because they won't stop, okay? They won't. They won't stop at abortion. They won't stop at taking away people's a drug to do the abortion. They won't stop at contraception. They won't stop at gay marriage. They won't stop at like trying to police what bathrooms you can use. These people are not going to stop. Correct, doctors, and that's the point. SV Harkin, it's the chilling effect. That's the point, because like they don't know. You know, a doctor might consider you're something in a medical emergency, but if it gets challenged in court and they deem it not, then damn. It's not a effing complicated. Sun heats ocean, which evaporates sun, creates stronger storms, which suck up more particles. Yep. Yeah, no, all that's completely valid. And I completely understand. I think what's worrying and concerning and shocking to scientists is the rate at which is happening, and the ramifications of this are, the more we kind of learn about this, the more we realize just how like bad it is, if that makes sense. And like, especially now, during an El Nino phase where this is going to warm up, man, yeah, not good. It's just going to get a lot worse for women. Yep. In some states. Yep. The OJ Special Counsel has asked Abby Grossman's lawyer for recordings, including the new Ted Cruz coup admission recording of the Giuliani, admitting that he didn't have any evidence of election fraud. Oh, yeah, I mean, like, ideally, these people would be fucking nailed, dead to rights. But I don't know. Will we see accountability? I don't know. Will Ted Cruz be rolled in and questioned, be like, hey, so we saw that recording about a phone call saying that basically, in order for us to investigate what's happening in this election, is to not certify it and hold off on it, which coincidentally also seems to be the same plan that the other Republicans and Trump operatives had too. Can you explain that, Mr. Cruz? You know, like, damn. But of course, I seriously doubt we will have any type of accountability, but you know, Roberts will know that nothing will happen because Democrats are toothless. Yeah, like they're not gonna impeach any of these justices, nor can they. I think it's all bad. Yeah, no wonder trust in the Supreme Court is at an all-time historic low, for good reasons. And the audacity that Roberts has to even say that we shouldn't question the integrity of the court. Yeah, dude, screw you. Anywho, All right, folks. It is past 7 o'clock. I do have to get going. I appreciate all of you guys hanging out. Thank you guys so much. A couple of shout outs. Thank you, Carpe, for hanging out in the chat. If you guys want to go and take a second, go to twitch.tv/CarpePax. Alio, thank you so much for mixing it up. Mixing it up in the chat. So make sure you follow them, twitch.tv/AlioShare. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the biddies. Thank you for the follows. I think I see a couple of you guys that followed offline. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. If you guys enjoy the content, don't forget to hit the follow button on your way out if you haven't done so. We're here Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. No, thank you, Sharpie Diesel. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for hanging out. Michael Hassler, thank you. Mono, thank you for keeping it cool in the chat. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, we'll be back here Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. If you guys want to support the channel and can't do so monetarily, consider going to the YouTube channel and hitting the subscribe button. It really does help us out. We're at 227 subscribers, so that's pretty cool. I appreciate that. As always, folks, and of course, spread the word far and wide. We're here Monday, Thursday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. As always, folks, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. See ya!
That I wasn't really anywhere, and no one left to be. That train that I was on was over a shining sea. Don't believe it if you please. Looking for change on the subway trail. Looking for change on the subway trail. Looking for change.
Sorry about that, folks. We're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See ya.